setting up now. Here we go. All right, so welcome. This is going to be another report for October 29 for whoever it happens to be. What I'm going to do is get to the stage right now, okay? And we're going to get on with the process, okay? Give me a second. So, we've been doing it by a random lucky draw, okay? That's how it is. So I'm going to start off by putting everyone out here. We've already done a few. So I'm going to put a few more out here right now. And then we're going to do a lucky draw. Whoever comes up, that's going to be the one who gets the reading, okay? And we're going to keep going through all of this until we get all 12 for you guys done. Just like that. All right, so I know it's exciting. Calm down, calm down, calm down. So let's have a look. I've just started. Welcome, whoever you are. Thank you very much. I'm doing this stuff live now because it's much more comfortable. It's a lot more fun. Thank you for hanging out. Make yourself comfortable. I'm going to actually pull the draw right now. Okay, so this is it. Okay, we've done it with the other signs. Inside of here, okay, there's 10 in here. There's 10 little post-it notes in here, and there's 10 signs out here. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. And we're going to shake it all up, and I'm going to pull it all out. Okay, calm down, calm down, calm down. Okay, there's no strings, okay? No magnets, no mirrors, none of that. Some of you might have been here on the show earlier this morning when we read for, I think it was Pisces, and we did Virgo last night. And we're going to be doing another one or two later today, okay? We have a lot of work to do before the end of the week and before October actually begins. All right, so please bear with me, whoever you are, wherever you are, because this is going to go straight over to the channel for the monthly reports for October, okay? This is it, okay? October 2019 general reports from, there's truly Lumination. Thank you very much. I'm going to use multiple spreads, okay, just to get this done. All right, here we go. Please bear with me. It's very, very simple. I'm going to do it right in front of you so that you're a witness. Okay? Hang in. Tell your buddies, tell your friends. Let's have a look. Okay, so I'm just going to pick one, and whoever it is, that's going to be the one who gets their, that's going to be the one who gets their reading. Okay? So I've got one. Okay, this is it. So this is going to be a match to one of the signs over here, all right? And then we're just going to do it. So we're going to go totally blind doing this because it makes it more, let's say, genuine and spontaneous, okay? So please bear with me. Please bear with me. You've probably already figured it out if you're a psychic. We have plenty of psychics and mediums who've come to the channel. Let's have a look. Hold on. My post-it notes have got all stuck up with each other. It is Aries, people. So this video is going to be all about Aries. It's going to be Aries monthly report for October 2019. Okay, it's the general report, all right? So we're going to go broad spectrum here. I hope you don't mind. And this is for you. Congratulations, Aries. This is now going into the trash, okay? Because this is all like a sand painting. This report will fade out in about a month, okay, after we've lived it all out. Thank you very much, Aries. You're up. This is going in the trash, okay? It's not going back in here. No double dipping. So I'm going to close this up because eventually we're going to get everyone read in here. I'm going to put that aside. And we're going to just pull out Aries, okay? So you are going to get your report right now live if you're here, dear Aries. Otherwise, you can watch it on the action replays on the channel itself, just like you would on the monthly reports when you go to a playlist, okay? So everyone else here that we haven't read yet, we're going to read soon. All right? All right. First of all, I'm going to use, first of all, let me just say hi. I just want to check in and say hi. Okay, stay there. Greetings, this is Terra Lumination. How are you doing? It's another one of the October reports, and we just did the lucky draw for Aries. Okay, so that's going to be coming up. We're going to use a miniature crucible spread, okay, for the relationship dynamics part. And then we're going to do a situational spread to take a broad spectrum like diagnostics, okay? Think of it like a sniper bullet getting into the depths of October and what we're going to do with it, okay? And then what I want to do later is we're going to use the Gaia deck, because I want to take advantage of all the energy of Pluto in Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn, Neptune in Pisces, okay, and Uranus in Taurus. It's a very nutritious combination, and I'd like to have that available, basically optimize that energy, okay? So let's go to the stage and we'll actually start doing this thing, okay? All right, here we go. Now, if you've watched the channel before, I use the Crucible spread for relationship dynamics, okay? It's very specific to Terra Lumination, and it's built on the understanding that there's you, Aries, there is a significant other, and then there is a third entity, okay? And that would be the relationship itself. It's something that you guys own, okay? Like a little business or like a potted plant or something. Are you taking care of it? Is it leaky? Is it bendy? Is it flexible? Is it cracked and broken? Does it need maintenance, or is it strong and healthy? Okay? It's a living thing. It is a living thing. A relationship is a living thing. Okay? So bear with me. You'll see in a moment. So with the crucible spread, a crucible is a structure that's designed to withstand intense pressures of alchemical reactions in a laboratory, which is very similar to what happens in human relationships, okay? So I'm just going to use a miniature version of the spread here. Sometimes I do a 9-card version of it, okay, which is much bigger, but that hopefully happens in the personal reading. So bear with me. Also, by the way, everybody, please invite your invisible friends, okay? All your angels, your archangels, your loved ones from the great beyond, anyone from the other side, any lovely, loving being from the other side who is there for you, and you would know who they are. Some of them you wouldn't know, but they would be from past lives, for example, or potentially future lives. So here we go. Bless this deck. Bless every single card. Bless you, dear viewers. Thank you for being here. And let's do it. So imagine yourself like a smartphone, okay? Okay? You're constantly transmitting and radiating energy. Okay? Receiving and transmitting, just like a smartphone and voice mode. So what is that energy? You own that, whether you like it or know it or not. Are you conscious or are you unconscious? Hello, Love Triber. I see you there. Greetings, greetings. Thank you for hanging out. So, Love Triber, we just did the lucky draw for Aries. So this is going to be an Aries report. Thank you very much. This is the Aries individual. Now, we're going to allow for a significant other. It's the same thing, okay? The significant other over here, what are they radiating? Think of them like a smartphone in voice mode, okay? It's energy. Energy in, energy out. You own that. You're responsible for all of this, okay? Both of you are. And remember, this is not a couple's reading. It's all about you, Aries, but we're allowing for a co-star here. This could be anybody, like a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a spouse, a chosen relationship. Typically a chosen relationship, as opposed to the default relationships like family. However, this does cover family anyway, so I guess really I should just say any relationship, okay? The ones that are very, very close to you, okay? Hopefully in a very loving dynamic. Not every relationship has a loving dynamic. Some of them are hyper stressful and they're based on stimulation, activity, excitement, commitments, bondage, and everything, anything and everything besides love. And so there's you, Aries, there's a significant other, and here's the third thing, the relationship itself. Okay? So this is hovering down here, and this is like the base of the potted plant. Okay? This is the crucible. I hope you can see that. And it's like a bowl type structure, and the relationship is conducted inside this bowl. Okay? As we intimate, as we separate. As we intimate and separate, as we all do in life. Okay? We all do this. It's a never-ending cresting and splooshing of waves, just like the ocean. Okay? Relationships are not stagnant. There's no point in trying to tie down a relationship. Aries, Love Driver has an Aries midheaven. Okay? So this might be intriguing for you. And so if you think of this also like a potted plant, it's a living thing. It's a living thing. So let's see, what does it look like? Okay? Look at the bloom. What is growing? What is flowering here? What is blossoming here in some form or another? And then over here, we're going to look at circumstantial energy out there around you. And whatever that might be, I like to think of it as the planets, because you know I like to blame the planets for everything. Even the good stuff. But it could be other things. If you want to think of it in a three-dimensional perspective, like family, location, your history, your background, the circumstances around you, maybe some very stressful events or conditions or whatever it might be. I think of that as the energy around you. Okay, so over here, let's have a look. We're going to start. You have the Princess of Wands. Okay, so this is, to me, it feels like very optimistic energy, very strong energy of support for you. Okay, over here, remember this is October. So in some ways, it's a really pivotal month for the Aries crowd, because the Sun and a bunch of other personal planets are going to be cruising through the house of opposition. I'm going to come to that in a moment when we look at your astrodoodle, okay? I've done some astrodoodles earlier on, but I decided to break this up. We're going to go straight into some cards, and then we'll get into the astrodoodles in a moment, okay? So right now, Aries, let's just say for October, you're surrounded by some very optimistic energy. To me, it feels like it's very encouraging. It's almost like, if you think of this as the energy of the planets or your invisible friends, for example, it's like they're giving you a nudge. Come on, Aries. Come on, Aries, you can handle it. Everything's set up for you. It's always set up for you if you are acutely, deeply aware. Of course, it's not always that way. Sometimes it feels very stressful. But this is a really good opportunity for you, Aries, especially even when we're coming into the Libra season, which is technically your polar opposite, which could make relationship dynamics appear extra, super, hyper stressful. But there's also the benefits of that. The 7th house energy, which is your opposing energy, is the house of open enemies, but it's also the house of marriage. And as you all know, a marriage is a very specific agreement between people where they knowingly go into a contract together, hopefully to make the best of themselves and each other, so that they would benefit and grow with each other in ways that they could never do on their own. And of course, you're putting yourself at maximum risk when you do that, because you're exposed to all the baggage of the other person, and the other person is exposed to all the baggage of you, so anything and everything that could go wrong can go wrong. It doesn't mean that it will. So it's like starting off a whole new adventure. A lot of people go into the marriage dynamic thinking that, oh, once we do that, then we switch everything onto autopilot and automatically everything's better. Sorry. It's just different. It changes. So this is, to me, very encouraging. It's almost like, to me, it feels like a young mother with a young child, and the young child is you, Aries, and the mother is saying, it's okay, Aries. Just go for it. Live your life, okay? You're going to experience some wobbly, scary moments, but go for it anyway, okay? You go for it anyway. There's always wit. The Wand's energy is so much about passion and drive, but with the Princess, it's very innocent. So please give yourself lots and lots of wiggle room, Aries, for October as you go through this learning experience. All right, what about the energy that you're radiating? With the Two of Swords here, my feeling is that it's like again, let's follow up from the energy here for like the circumstantial energy that's, like, say, nudging you forward. This would be the energy of caution, okay? So it's like, pretend this is your mom, okay? Dear Aries, whoever you are, male, female, older, younger, pretend this is your mother. In fact, it's the whole group of archangels and invisible friends who are there for you on your side, and they're kind of going, it's okay, Aries, don't worry. You're going to be fine. Just keep going. We're here. We're right here, right here. And you're kind of going like, I don't know. I don't know if I can handle this or not. I know the Libra season is my polar opposite, but I'm going to do the best that I can. And then they say, like, it's okay. You're smart. You have intuition. Tune in. What are your senses telling you? Your eyes, your nose, your ears, your skin, your thoughts, your intellect, your whole body. Your whole body is a sense organ. Think of this as the antenna on your smartphone, where your body is a smartphone, okay? So, to me, this looks like you're radiating the energy of a very innocent person. Doesn't matter how old you are, how much experience you have, like how spiritually ascended you are. There's a high degree of innocence that I'm sensing here. And it's like the response from the pressures around you is to, like, okay, I'm good. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I know that my guides, my invisible friends are there. I know it. I can tell you. I can sense you. I can sense that you're there. It's okay. Yes, excellent. We got your back. So, okay, so I have to make decisions. I have to make really, really important decisions. Oh no. Okay, so what happens if I do this? I'm not sure. Oh, what happens if I do this? I'm not sure. It's okay. It's okay to go through these periods and moments where you're not exactly sure, because I think you're being tested. Okay, Aries, I think that you're being tested through October, and the pressure is there to help you to grow, to mature, and to, let's say, enjoy a bigger, better life in some way or another. So don't be scared of the Two of Swords. To me, it's a very beautiful energy here for you. It's a little bit scary. It's a little bit exciting. It would be like, this is going to sound really strange, but you know that feeling when you're a little kid and you go to a new school for the first time? Part of you is very excited, part of you is terrified, and you know you're going to be called upon to, like, be super hyper aware of all the energies around you. Much more than you could sense just through your physical senses. You need to be very tuned into your higher consciousness here, okay? So that's what you're doing, which is good, because you're going to need all that, okay? Let me go over here to a significant other. So, with the Hermit over here, you might feel as though you're, literally like wandering around in the dark. Like wondering what the heck is going on with these significant others in my life. Maybe there's one or two or three or four people and characters in particular. Most people, from what I can tell from doing lots of readings, have maybe 3 or 5 people who are the really significant characters in their life. Anything above and beyond that, it's more like friendship or default relationships or associates or something like that. But this is a pivotal relationship, okay? So you might be relating with someone who's completely off on a different tangent to you, and they are simply minding their own business because that's their journey. It doesn't mean any offense to you, okay? I don't feel that they have any kind of malice towards you. They are, it's almost like part of them doesn't know themselves. That's what I'm sensing here. And so they have to go deep within on their own kind of internal journey, which is partly measured through their relationship with you. So I don't want to say it's like the blind leading the blind here, but it's almost like that kind of expression, okay? So you have to be very alert. You have to be very careful. And I think that's what you're already doing, but you've got a lot of encouragement to kind of trust yourself, trust your intuition, trust your connection with divinity, and let that work for you. Let them be who they are, okay? Like, relationships don't always have to be some kind of cozy, lovey-dovey thing where you're curled up on a sofa together, eating popcorn and making out, and everything's just automatically, everything else happens. It's perfect, okay? So with the Hermit here, it's like you can have a very intimate relationship while both parties are being very, very deep in their own selfhood, their own personhood, minding their own business. And you give each other, you grant each other the space and the time and permission to be yourself. You give them permission to be themselves, they give you permission to be yourself, and you both get on with it. And you can still do that in the context of a relationship, okay? So it feels to me, Aries, that you're dealing with someone who's in some ways either very remote, perhaps almost lost, seeking divine guidance, knowing that it's only going to come by going deep within and going through a very deep experiential journey from which they cannot escape. In other words, it feels almost like there's no way out for them except to go through this almost like a dark night of the soul thing, where they might be learning lessons the hard way about what is right for them. And the only way they can do that is, this is going to sound strange, but it is in the context of this relationship, and yet they're conducting themselves in terms of personhood, in terms of selfhood. So it might feel like there's a lot of remote energy here, like they are very remote from you, but it doesn't mean it's a good or a bad thing or the end of the relationship. It just means there might be a very deep chasm here. If you look at the imagery in particular, they're way, way out on kind of an epic journey, all right? That's their business, okay? This is not a couple's reading. It's all about you, Aries, and we're just allowing for a co-star. Now, let's have a look at the core. We have this. With the Six of Swords here, to me it feels like it might be that you're discovering that there's a lot of things inside the relationship dynamic, actually in the relationship itself, which is, to me it feels almost like it's a little bit intimidating, but it's stuff that you need to learn, that you've perhaps not learned or never known before, and the only way for this to learn and to happen is in the context of a significant relationship. Now, if your divine intuition, if your higher consciousness is telling you that some kind of separation, some kind of moving on is in order, okay? In order for you to grow and prosper and mature, in your life spiritually, in every aspect, then so be it. But you might be learning it almost like to me it feels like contemplating. Like the relationship dynamic here is, to me it's radiating the energy of contemplation. The contemplation of, like, what if? What would happen as I'm going through this learning experience in my innocence, being nudged forward by my wonderful invisible friends who are there for me? What happens if I decide to make a unilateral decision about what is good for me personally? Let them do whatever they do, be however they are, how they are, and I just focus on taking care of myself, okay? What now? What now? What now? Where would that take me? Where would I go? How would I conduct myself going forward from here? Because this is the energy of, like, really, all I really want to do is be happy, have a life. I only want the things and the people, the thoughts, the attitudes and beliefs that work for me, okay, in the context of a relationship. And if you're discovering a lot of things that don't work for you in the context of a relationship, that's valuable knowledge. That's valuable information that gives you a greater ability to recalibrate your life, rethink everything, okay, for a so-called future, perhaps looking into November or December, okay? A lot of stuff's going to change towards the end of this year, and especially into January 2020. So, with that said, to me this looks like the energy of a relationship that is not It's not breaking up or anything. It's just, this is, to me, it feels like there's a contemplation, having to look forward, having to anticipate, having to like read the tea leaves, get tarot illumination reports to see about how things are going to pan out in the future, knowing that you deserve peace and harmony and a new chance, a new starts, new life, where you're just with people who you love, like with your own tribe, for example. People that you love, the people who love you, and with really healthy, good attitudes that you could have only learned by discovering what doesn't work, okay? So let's have a look over here. What is blossoming out of this? Okay, so it is a gateway. With the Ace of Wands over here, I definitely see this as a gateway month for you, Aries. You'll see in a minute when I get to the Astrodoodle. With the Ace of Wands, I think this is almost like a compliment. It's almost like your invisible friends here. I'm attributing this card to the energy of your invisible friends more than the planets. And it's almost like they're saying, you see what I was telling you, dear Aries? We're here for you. In some ways we're as innocent as you are. We learn so much by being with you. We love being with you. And you're like, seriously? Yes. We're your invisible friends, all of us. I know it looks like one person on here, but this is like the ambassador and the representative for the people who want you to live an awesome life. And they're giving you steps and guidance and clues about how to do that. And they can see that you're listening and observing and taking very careful decisions accordingly. And what happens is, as you go through this very, what I would say, shaky month, where there's a good chance you're going to get rattled and rolled and shaken up, and there's going to be a strong desire to like, oh my gosh, I wish I could get out of this and just move on. Well, guess what? It looks from here, it's almost like they're saying, I told you so. I told you so. I told you, Aries, look what you got. You've got an amazing opportunity. Please see October as an amazing opportunity for your own growth, your own expansion, your own chance to, let's say, achieve, I'm not going to say greatness, but a greater sense of self and selfhood by discovering a lot of things about what does not work. Okay? It's a really good opportunity here. This is like, if you think of this as a plant, okay, let's go back to this analogy. Imagine that this is a plant, okay, and this is what is flowering here. This is like the first bloom of an amazing new plant. Maybe it's an exotic plant. Maybe it's something that you know already. But this is like a rebirth, a restart of you. And I think it's going to be very much to do with the Libra Aries axis that's happening with the astrology. I'll show you in a little bit here. So even though it's potentially a very high pressure month for you, and it could be a little scary, and you're getting nudged and pushed in a very loving, caring kind of way, ultimately the outcome is for you to move on to a better place where you can see like a gateway opening for you in your life to grab what I would, it's almost like having a whole new lifestyle, a whole new way of looking at your life, like starting over again, now that you have a fuller understanding of what love and relationship means for you in your life. Okay, so let's leave this at the moment. I hope that makes sense to you. I'm going to get your Astrodoodle and you'll see. Give me a second here. Hold on, I just want to check in with you. Stay there, don't go away. Hello, dear Aries, whoever you are, wherever you are. Thank you very much for hanging out. This is your October report. Some of the other reports I started with the Astrodoodle. This one I just dived right in with a little, like a miniature crucible thing for relationships, okay? Because this is such a significant month for you regarding relationship. Now I'm going to go to the Astrodoodles. I'll show you why, like an illustration, okay? All right, so hang in. So these are the notes for the whole of the month. This is for everybody, the whole world. I'm going to cover the key things for you. It's going to be all about the moon, okay? The new moon is starting in Libra at the very tippy end of September, and it rolls into the very first days of October. Typically, the new moon energy doesn't pick up for a few days anyway, so that's why I'm extending it and just, blurring up the edges a bit here for the new moon. So right at the very tippy beginning of the month, you're going to be feeling a lot of energy of opposition, okay? This could be the energy of maximum opposition here. There's going to be a bunch of planets piled up in the Libra sector, okay, basically opposing you. We got other things going on over here. I'll move on. Over here, we're going to move to the middle of the month where the moon comes into your own sign. So this is going to be like a real wake-up call, and that's going to, that kind of might be a very shuddering moment for you, as you kind of go, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I really, really want to do this. I can tell that the significant others in my life are either they're on their own thing, or I don't know if they're with me or against me or whatever it is, because they're just doing what they do. I'm going to have to deal with it on my own. What does it mean? I just want to move on with peace. Well, you're going to have that opportunity, but I don't think you're going to realize it towards the middle of the month in terms of how you're going to define that. What does it look like? What does your new like lifestyle look like? You're going to get glimpses at the middle of the month. The new moon in Scorpio happens way near the end, okay? And that's a different energy completely. I'm going to show you on the chart, so bear with me. I'm just going to open this up, go direct to the Libras, which is over here. Okay, so you can see, can you see that? Does this I hope this illustrates kind of what I was talking about with the opposition. I'm sorry, this is the Aries. I want the Aries. What am I doing? Excuse me. Pardon me. Pardon me. It's going to look very similar, but in the reverse order. Hold on. I was thinking so much about your polarity. Okay, let's go to you over here with the Aries sector. Here it is. Have a look at this. So this is you, Aries, all right? Coming into the October season, or the Libra season, that's what some people call it, okay? This is your Aries October 2019 Astrodoodle, all right? So we start off right at the very, very beginning. Look over here. Do you see this? This is the Libra new moon. It's actually technically at the very end of September, but I'm calling it October 1st as well. I'm just extending the whole vibe and the feeling. We got a bunch of personal planets there, and those are in full opposition to you. So it's no wonder you might be quaking in your boots a little bit at the very beginning of the month with the new moon. And then that pressure might really rattle you as you go through the next 2 weeks, okay? So this thing here, I painted it orange, and I made it kind of like an orange-red combo because it's potentially very stressful for you. So we have to acknowledge that, all right? So we're going to take that all the way through, tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. This could be a bit of an awkward moment when the moon is in Capricorn squaring you. And then over here, tick-tock, tick-tock, another week later, we come to the Aries full moon. So by this time, the moon is in your own sign, opposing there's a bunch of Libra energy which is still here. So this month is going to be very much about relationships for you. The whole axis of relationship is heavily lit up here. Okay? So this could be uncomfortable, but this is stuff that you need to know. Okay? You need to know what's not working. Who is the enemy? This is the house of open enemies, by the way. So you might know someone in your life who is fits that perfectly, someone who is literally like the worst enemy that you could have. But if you take it personally, then you're going to make problems worse. So the best thing to do is just recognize the enemy, or recognize the ones who deeply love you. It's the same energy, but one is the inverse of the other. So understand that, learn about it, sit through it for the next couple of weeks while you integrate that, see how it fits into your body, and then you'll understand when the moon gets full, you'll get this feeling like, oh my God, now I understand. That person and that person and that person, they're just doing what they do, being who they are, because that's who they are. I can't stop that. And that could be awesome. This could be somebody absolutely wonderful who's totally on your side, just going through a period of personhood. This could be someone who's a complete enemy, your worst enemy, and they're just doing what they do. And then so be it. Okay? So, you're going to find that out towards the middle of the month. Then later on, cruise through. Just let all that stuff soak in. You might be quivering and shaking a little bit, and no wonder you might want to just escape and move on. I wish I could get out of this, but you can't. So you have to live through the experience. And as you live through the experience, you're going to come back over to the next new moon, which is right over here. Okay? Right over here at the very tippy end of the month. Sun is going to go into Scorpio on the 24th, and you'll get the new moon in Scorpio on the 28th, okay? So that's going to be new starts and new beginnings over here regarding, like, the deep implications of your connection with certain significant others. What does it really, really mean in terms of, like, joint finances, deeply held contractual agreements, something where your energy is deeply bonded to a significant other, in the form of what they would do, like what happens when you get married, for example. You sign papers and all your money becomes theirs and all their money becomes yours. That's great when it works, but it's a nightmare when it doesn't work, okay? So that's what we're dealing with here. So I highlighted this as an orange-red thing because potentially it's awesome, but it's also potentially a bit of a problem, okay? So you're going to be dealing with that as you go. I just want to put out these little trigger points over here, the 20th of October and the 5th of October. Those are going to be trigger points because of the moon in Cancer and the moon in Capricorn. You might feel that emotionally, like being even more shaken up. So, okay, basically, Aries, what I'm suggesting here is please be prepared to be rattled. Be prepared to be a little bit, let's say, uncomfortable. And that you're getting support and you're getting nudged through on the understanding that you're as naive, as innocent as the rest of us, okay? But you're the one who's going to be under the most pressure, okay? So you might be the one who's most fearful of making poor decisions, okay? It's understandable because all you want is peace, okay? You want a new start, a new life, and that is possible. I don't know what the details are going to be that, but this is a gateway. This whole thing, the whole reading here is about a gateway for you, all right? So pay very, very close, pay extremely close attention to the dynamics of your relationships, okay? Especially the very, very, very significant ones if you're contractually tied to somebody. So I'm going to tuck this away over here. We're going to do another spread, okay? I'm going to use a situational spread, okay? And it's like a sniper bullet. Its job is to do what it does, okay? It's kind of like a diagnostics. We're just trying to get to the point here. So bear with me. I'm going to go to a new deck here. These are all spreads that I use all the time. I only have a very limited number of spreads that I use because they do the job as far as I'm concerned, and that's all I really want to do. You'll see what I'm talking about. If you've been to the Sunday night shows, or you've, especially the Sunday nights where we do the Super Chat fun readings in public, we just bore down straight to the issue, straight to the matter of the heart at that moment in time, okay? So that's all we're going to do here. Okay, I think we're pretty good to go. Let's bless this deck. Bless every single card. Bless the channel. Bless Tarot Illumination. Bless you, dear viewers. Bless every single card. Bless the microphones. Bless the lighting. Bless the technology and the internet and the platform and everything so that we can do this at all. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is for you. Here's the situation, Aries, okay? Here's the challenges. And here's how we're going to handle it. And what's the weather like for you in this situation? Again, I often think of the planets here, but it could be anything. Whatever's probably stressing you out the most, or whatever is occupying most of your attention right now. Let's have a look. So you've got the Five of Pentacles. So to me, this resonates very, very closely with the Two of Swords over here, and a bit of a fearful energy that, you know, things might not work out. What have I done in my life? Have I made the right decisions to be with the right people at the right time for the right places, for the right outcomes? Oh no, oh no, oh no, I don't really know. I don't really know. But I think what will happen is, this is very much to do with the Five of Pentacles. I think this is evidence. You see, when I see pentacles over here in a personal way, I'm feeling it in a very personal way. I feel that you're taking it very personally. And because the imagery is so much about partnership, and the idea like, did I pick the right partner? Did the right partner pick me? Can I handle what happens when things go wrong between very close ties between self and a significant other? So that, to me, relates the Pentacles here, the Five Pentacles, a card of perhaps feeling like rejection or fear of rejection. It's something to be aware of. That it would be very, very easy with this dynamic in your chart right now. Okay, let me just show you. It would be very easy to feel very, let's say, weakened or intimidated by even the slightest thing that you sense is out of whack between yourself and a significant other. In other words, it takes on like humongous proportions, like, oh my gosh, you know, like that one word that I said, that one note that I said, that one event that happened between us maybe long ago when we were kids. It has huge significance right now. And how does that play out? Are you going to end up impoverished, or are you going to end up wealthy? The pentacles are there, okay? It's a question of how does it turn out. I think the message here is that it's really important to understand the dynamics of what happens in relationships when you end up in a relationship dynamic. I know this is kind of spilling over from the relationship reading itself, but I can't help it because it's a relationship month for you anyway, Aries. So I'm just going to roll with it. I feel this is very much like, it's almost like the planets are telling you to be very, very acutely aware of the physical realities of your life. You know, check the locks on your doors, check your bank account, check all your documents, make sure your batteries and devices are all charged. Keep close, keep very, very close to your friends and your loved ones who you already know truly, truly love you. And be very, very aware of what can go wrong with people who you might define as your enemies, okay? Because you're vulnerable. In other words, it's like, just be careful. Just be very aware, because you're vulnerable to the malice and the maliciousness of other people. And that could translate into impoverishment for yourself. It doesn't mean you're going to end up that way, but you have to be aware of the significance of what happens in relationships with other people. Let's have a look at the situation itself. Okay, so with the Fool here, okay, this is really amplifying the energy of the unknown, and it's almost like this situation energy here. To me, it says it's almost impossible to predict what kind of outcome is going to happen this month. There's going to be a lot more awareness towards the middle of the month, but what does that actually mean in terms of your physical reality? Are you going to end up like rejected, lost? Are you going to end up enjoying the pentacles that you have? Okay? So really, this is an indication that we don't know. Okay, it doesn't matter. In other words, we could go over this astrodoodle and do readings forever, and you still wouldn't know. The only thing you can do is live through things experientially and learn as you go. So yeah, it might be feeling a little bit intimidating for you, but then that's life. Okay, because it's a high pressure month for you. Okay, so what are the challenges? Okay. To me, this feels like a wishful energy, like, wow, I wish I had known all this stuff earlier, or when I was younger, or I was a little kid. How come I didn't know all the challenges and complexities that would happen in life and love and relationship in terms of how it actually turns into my life? Like how I live, where I live, how my talents are developed, how my talents are suppressed and impeded. oh no, oh no, oh no. Is my future growth going to be impeded? Is my future wealth and abundance in life, in the world, going to be just sitting there like rotting on the vine? Whose fault is this for everything that's not working? What element of what is working and what is not working is my doing? Either way, it doesn't matter. This feels really, really uncomfortable to me. Okay, Aries, I just want to let you know. And so this is almost like that feeling of the reality check, like, oh gosh, it's like, oh man, I knew it. Well, finally I know it, okay? So it's not the end of the world, but it's like the realization that, gosh, like the work never stops, okay? The work of decision making, the work of deciding what to do or not to do, okay? It's always work, and the most important work is to make healthy decisions to love thyself. But sometimes you're under intense pressure of maximum opposition, and then it makes you end up in a position where, like, wow, it's not really my fault, it's not really my problem, any of this, but I'm left being the one who has to clean it all up. Otherwise it doesn't work for anybody, for me or anybody. And that's just like rude, it's not fair, it just doesn't make any sense. Why does life happen that way sometimes? And again, this might feel a little bit intimidating, sort of the way this is intimidating, but then again, that doesn't surprise me because of this that we've been talking about already, okay? So how are we going to handle it? Okay, to be the boss. The way to handle it is, it's almost to make a really, really tough decision to get back to being good old Aries. It's almost like going in a full circle. This is a lot of potentially very, very low grade, like quivering type of fear energy that's simmering up through the month. And then you reach the full moon and you get the realization, oh no, it really is that bad. But you also get the glimpse of, well, there's the good stuff is, you have to make a list of the good stuff too. And then you get towards the middle of the month, you realize, okay, there's no option. I have no other option except to be my Aries self. I'm going to go back to very, very, very simple basics, the basic stuff. Who am I? What am I? I have a right to be me. I am worthy. I am deserving. I am open to receive. I am ready. I am willing, and I'm able to receive. I am the boss of me. I am the boss of my life. It doesn't mean I am like a, what do they call it, megalomaniac or a narcissist and I'm going to just boss everybody around. No, this is the energy of placing yourself at the center of yourself, at the center of your own universe, and making sure that you are the boss of you and you are the boss of your life no matter what. No matter all that other stuff that's going on. Yes, there might be some really bumpy, uncomfortable learning experiences. Yes, it might feel as though the world is out to get you. And like if it goes really wrong, like you could be like feeling really destitute. But that would be normal under these kind of conditions. This is the energy of maximum polarity, maximum opposition coming right at you, Aries, okay? That's the Libra season. But you can handle it because you're an Aries, okay? So the ultimate message goes all the way back to the beginning. Be the Aries that you are. Just be you. Get back into complete selfhood, self-confidence. Now, I don't know exactly how to do that, but you know yourself, Aries. There are certain components about yourself that you know absolutely for true. That's who you are, what you are, the way you are. And so you have to get back into that, okay? And it's going to happen under pressure. It's going to happen by force. You know, all of us have lived a life where you've got a past and you've got a history, but right now, it kind of doesn't really matter. What really, really counts is just getting through the month, understanding there's going to be all this pressure. You're going to feel it. It's going to maybe really kind of shake you up. But ultimately, look here with the Ace of Wands over here and the Emperor here. It's about bringing you back to full circle, to full awareness of self and selfhood, so that you get to be you, but it's next level. In other words, the whole of the Libra pressure is about literally pressuring you to go next level. It's about growth, evolution, adaptation, in order to blossom, but it's happening under pressure. It's happening under maximum pressure. Okay? So I hope that makes sense for you. I'm going to put this aside over here, and I'm going to pull another grounding card. I want to take advantage. Let me just check in. Hold on. Okay, I'm not saying any of this stuff to scare you, Aries. It's just from experience. I know when everybody goes through that cycle of maximum opposition in their lives, typically when the sun is opposite your sun, it can bring a ton of awareness, a ton of amazing new starts and new beginnings. But sometimes it's in the context of learning an awful lot about what doesn't work. Okay. And that gives you a much clearer awareness of what does work. Okay? So let's wrap it up. I'm going to pull this. I'm actually going to pull the Gaia deck card. I'm trying to take advantage of the Pluto, the Saturn, and the Taurus, Uranus energies, all in like Saturn, all in Capricorn and Taurus energy. So it's very, very earthy, and we're mixing in the Pisces energy there because it's all nutritious. So Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. I'm kind of squashing all that into one card. I hope you don't mind. And it'll be like a little after dinner mint. Okay? You'll see in a moment. Hold on. So I'm just going to shuffle it up. This will be your card. The idea is to sort of I'm hoping this card is going to act like as a stabilizer to get you through this potentially intimidating month, and then getting you grounded and solid inside of yourself so you come out full circle back to classic Aries selfhood again. Personhood, new starts and new beginnings, okay? And I think you'll feel that much more towards the end of the month, okay? Here we go. Let me work on this for you. Let's have a look. So I'm going all over the place here. It's just not enough room. Hold on. So this is going to be your card. It says here, attachment. Okay? Letting go, restriction, fear. You can see from her expression that she's a little bit fearful. Well, to me, this relates very closely with this energy over here and your need for encouragement and support from your invisible friends. Because I think your deepest levels of innocence and naivety are going to be exposed during this month. And that could easily be felt in your body as fear. Okay? And let's have a look. The subject is attachment. So I'm going to read from the book and then we can play with this, all right? Give me a second here. Okay. So we drew the attachment card for you out of the Gaia deck. This fellow is a very commanding writer. He works in very, very direct language. It says here, you believe that you are in a situation that you cannot free yourself from. Afraid to let go and walk away because of a deep sense of duty, commitment, or guilt. Perhaps you feel that you will hurt or disappoint someone if you let go, or whatever the reason, you feel you have no choices but to stay where you are and how you are. Okay? So that might feel very restrictive. The emotional attachment is great and the fear is overwhelming. Now, whatever that might be, the attachment to a thing, a person, an expectation, a belief, an outcome, a commitment. The emotional attachment is great and the fear is overwhelming. The fact that you have picked this card today is not a coincidence. The message is clear. You are being encouraged to face your fears. Do not listen to that fearful voice any longer. Beyond the fear is a space of love and light, which is guiding you and urging you to break free. Let me read on. Okay, hold on. Trust. Initially there will be some upheaval, but eventually all will turn out well for all concerned. You owe it to yourself and others. You deserve to feel light and free. Summon the power of love within you and ask it to guide you and give you the strength to do what you know is right. So it's going to take a lot of firmness and resolution and deep commitment to self and self-love here as you get through this month. To me, it feels like in a very shaky way. It doesn't mean you have to be a quivering mess and you have breakdowns every day. Just conduct your life. Be the regular Aries that you are, understanding that you're under maximum pressure here, but you're going to come out okay. It's your job. Your job is, Aries, to win, to succeed, to be the boss, and to lead. And sometimes even the top level bosses and leaders go through the dark night of the soul, for example, where you face your worst fears. But that can be a really, let's say, a tremendous learning experience. I think what's happening here is that it's potentially very intimidating. You come out the other side and you got new starts and new beginnings to become the boss of you again. Finally get back to being the boss of you. Okay, I'm going to put that over here. I'm going to check out. Let's have a look. The chat is frozen. I don't know what happened. I can't see anything. I think Love Triber is here, but that's all I know. So thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to wrap this up. Put a little bit of short little piece of music for you in case you want to chat and hang out later on when they do the action replays and things. Okay, so just bear with me.